Hello friends, this is Amit here, and recently I upload my a very short film, that is the BB8 short film. And if you not watch it yet, just go into my site and you will see that movie. So that is something like this. Very nice looking. So I am going through the all the tutorials one by one. So today I am going to show you the very first scene here. That is the opening scene of that film. So let's start it. And yes, that is my channel. If you not subscribed it, please subscribe my channel for the latest updates. And okay, let's get started. Just close that and open After Effects. This is After Effects. I am using After Effects CC 2015, and that is the scene. Very simple. Just build your own village scene here, or a landscape scene here, just whatever you want. And animate your camera, put your character there, and also animate that character. That's it. So let's start it. First we need a composition. Make a new composition, and maybe 1280 by 720p and 23 frames per second, and about 7 seconds long. Hit OK. So first we need to create a solid, that is layer new solid, and call this as element. Hit OK. Now we put the element effect on it. Just effects and presets panel, we under video copilot we find the element. Just click on that, and now click on the scene setup. So element 3D. First we need our basic plate, that is the base plate, and I use the uh, peach model from video copilot Halloween model pack. Just click on that, and there is a peach model. Click on this and it will appear. But we need it a very big plate, so just scale it up, something like this, and also down the Y scale value little bit like this, and also put it in the bottom, alignment set to the bottom. And now we increase the UV repeat value of the texture, just 10 by 10. Okay, now put the house from Metropolitan pack. Just click on that industrial hall and place it in the left side. Okay, maybe little rotate like this, and put some tree behind this house. As I say, it is all totally depends upon you how you design your own scene, but for now I use this tree. Just click on that, drag it behind the house like this, and shut off the leaves. Now rotate it little bit and also duplicate it. Just press alt on the keyboard, and first select the tree, alt on the keyboard, and drag any of the axis. You will duplicate it, place it here, scale it down and rotate. Okay, now also duplicate it one more time here, maybe scale it up, turn on the leaves here, and rotate little bit, and also duplicate that tree one more time and drag it closer to the camera like this. Rotate. Okay, and now put some basic thing there. Maybe we should down the house little bit. Okay, now put some barrels here. This is also a free models from Video Copilot, that is from the rooftop toolkit. Click on that. There is a group of barrels. Click on that, drag it here, maybe scale it up. Okay, now put a damage tanker, that is from also from Video Copilot model, that is tanker. I use the explode one. Just drag it here, maybe scale it down, rotate it like this, and drag it, maybe rotate horizontally. Okay, scale it down. So I use in the original video from I use the rocks from Video Copilot starter pack for the far mountains, but because I already already released my mountain model packs, that is also free model pack. You can download it from my sites, and from my YouTube page you will see the videos and the promo videos and the product. So for now we will use these mountains for the behind far mountains. Just I use the mountain model 007 here. Just click on that, drag it behind like this, so you will see it looks nice. Maybe we rotate the tanker, maybe not like this. You should like this. Also up and like this. Okay. I just want to show looks like that those are very old old rack tanker that is somewhat deep down in this soil, so just try to make that. So for the mountain, scale it down and also duplicate it, and maybe little closer, and rotate it like this. Okay, that is our basic scene. So now we need some grasses here. So I'll also use that is also a free model from Video Copilot starter pack. There is the grasses. Click on that, but we don't need in the same group because we also replicate that grass for many times. So just click on that and drag it to out from that group and make it the group 2. Just click on the group channel here and select the group 2 and hit OK. So now we need a camera, so layer, new camera, 30mm is good. And I like to use a null object to control the camera movement, so create a null object and name it as cam control and make it a 3D. Now parent the camera to the null object. So press P on the keyboard to bring up the position value of that null, and if we down the Y value you will see the movement here. Okay, so just take it, move the camera behind here. Now we need our background image, so I use that image here. Just bring it in the layer channel and make it also a 3D. Press P on the keyboard to bring the position values and set it far behind and scale it up like this. Okay, so I also like to change the camera point of interest values, so just select the camera and press A on the keyboard to bring up the point of interest value, and I set that value to the Z value of our background plane. So just click on this and copy this, Control C on the keyboard to copy that value and paste it at the Z value of camera's point of interest option, and here I select it and paste it by pressing Ctrl and V. So paste it here, and now you will see the parallax movement is more realistic, because if we see from the top view we will see the camera point of interest is set to very behind. So back to the active camera. Now we have to replicate our grass, so in element 3D layer FX channel we set the group to replicate particle replicator to play from plane point to plane, and increase the number how much you want, it's all up to you, and increase the scale shape here. You bring the scale down of the particle loop, down the scale here and bring them closer, and also down them little bit. And now we have to put some variation here, so at the particle size random increase it little bit so it will looks different, and rotate it at the particle rotation. Randomize angle, we not rotate that much because it will look awkward. We just change the Y value like this, and also scatter them. So there is the scatter option, scatter it only X and Z, not the Y, because it will look they are floating. So don't touch the Y value here, just X and Z. One thing I forgot to here, that back to the scene setup, we don't need that ground the ground plate, because we already have our ground plate. So just shut off the ground here and hit OK again. So now I like to change the X value, very slight amount of X value, maybe 0.01 like this, and bring them down, and also increase the particle count. So it will looks like this. Maybe down them little bit like this. Okay. I like to put some rock, so back to the scene setup here, and that is also a free models from video copilot that is from the starter pack here. So just starter pack physical, I use the rock number 2. I also put it in the group 3, hit OK, back, go to the group 3 channel here and set that to plane, increase the particle count, increase scale size here, uh, down them little bit, and make slight variation there. Also rotate randomly the randomized angle. You can freely rotate any angles because this is rock and it not look evenly, so just rotate. When you're satisfied, stop rotating. So our scene is ready. Now we put our character here. So I use the BB8 model, that is also a free model. So it is comes from the star pack from video copilot. Click on that. I use the rig one because we have to animate our character. Just click on that and put it in group 4, hit OK. So for that character I like to create a null object to control that. So create group channel, create null, and create, and named it as BB8 maybe. Now I bring the position value and drag it closer to the camera and also rotate it. Rotate the Y value 180 degree, so you will see its faces towards this, towards that house, and also scale it down. Maybe 90 or so, or maybe 20. Okay, so position my camera here. We almost done, like this. Okay, so now we have to animate our camera. So at that scene we down the camera. Okay, so um, to create that, just make a key switch here, or maybe at the end of the scene, make key switch here. Not maybe the end of the scene, maybe 3 seconds, and at the very beginning put our camera little bit, not that much, maybe that is look good, and there is the animation. Make a easy ease, so select those key points and press F9 at the keyboard, so you will see it will animate the camera very smoothly, like this. maybe we push the camera towards us and then dolly and pan the camera like this. So it will look like this. Okay, very nice. So now we have to animate our character. So back to the element, and at the rig model, they already put the different parts to the different auxiliary channels, like the body is set to the channel auxiliary channel number 1 and the head set to the auxiliary channel number 2, so you don't have to change that. It's already done that. And at the group channel, at the auxiliary channel, at the channel number 1 and channel number 2 here, at channel number 2, that is the head part, we slightly bend that like this, so it will look like that, the character watching very intensely there. When the camera at that position, now we have to animate our character. So um, click on the rotation of the body part here. Let's see which rotation will do good. Maybe the Z rotation. We need the Z rotation because our character moving from that side to this side. So Z rotation, we need Z rotation here. Click on the rotation Z here, and also not now because we first animate our head part first. uh, so first make a key switch there and set it to 0. So like this, you on the keyboard to see the key switches. And now we also keyframe the Y and X rotation also, for a few frames, and then forward few frames, and then change the Y value, maybe minus 90 degree, so it looks like first turn the head at the right position and then turn to the right side like this. And maybe because it's moving forward, so no, for that movement maybe we bring the head little, maybe not this, like this. And also rotate the and animate that entire character from just animate the null object here. Just click on the null object and press shift and P to bring the position value, and make a key switch here, and at the very end of the scene just animate that like this. So now we have the animation here. So now we also rotate the body part here. So from when it start moving, we make a keyframe here that is uh, place at the auxiliary channel number 1. So at the auxiliary channel number 1 at the rotation we need the Z rotation, so just make a keyframe here, and when it at the end of the scene we rotate that and see is it we have to increase the value like this. So if we play that, we change that very much, so maybe it's too, it's also very much, so just down little bit. Now see, also very high, down that. That looks good. Okay, so let's see what we are came up with now. Very nice looking. So that is our basic animation and scene setup. Now we are moving to lighting and some fog. So create a new light, layer, new light. I use parallel light, maybe 200% intensity is good, and hit OK. For the background, hit AA and shut off the excess light and bring the light far behind there, move it up like this, and also create a ambient light here. An ambient light, so intensity maybe about 10, hit OK, maybe down little bit, maybe 5 or so. Okay, like this, and maybe we bring up the intensity of the sun, so just press T, select the light and press T to bring up the intensity value there, maybe 300. Now back to the element layer, at the render setting you'll find shadow, just click enable it, and maybe we increase the map size to 8K and increase the parallel light shadow size like this, so it will cover the whole place here. And also on the ambient occlusion switch here, click on that, and at the advanced option change the AO light influence to maybe 160% and the depth influence to maybe 80% here. So you bring back to the full rays, you will see how it looks like now. So now we put some fog here, so just click on the fog here and select that color here and enable it, and fox start distance, just change that like this. Make it to the half race. Okay, we're almost done. Now we put a sun there, so I use optical flare for this. Just to the create new solid and call it as sun. Hit OK, and here select optical flare, double click on that, add option. I use that evening sun here. Hit OK, set it as green or add, and also set the follow switch to light, and decrease the scale switch like this. Also decrease the brightness like this. Okay, so now in this video you also see there is a depth of field. When the character appears, it will now then it will come to the focus, so we also make that here also. So select the camera and hit AA, and on the depth of field switch here. So first set the focus to the house here, and make a key switch, and when the character appears, make a key switch, and when it totally appears, change the focus distance to the character like this, and also decrease the aperture to 5. And iris shape, I like to use the pentagon, and also the highlight threshold, I like to decrease it and gain the highlight like this, not that much. Yes, and make it as easy switch. So just select those keyframes and press F9. So just play that. Okay, just like this. When the character appears, that will come to the focus. Okay, so we done our character animation and all the setup, that is shadow, ambient occlusion and the fox. So the next part is some color correction. So first I like to pre-compose all those layers. Just select all those layers and layer pre-compose and move all the attributes. It's okay. So now I like to uh, make it aspect ratio here, some aspect ratio. I use the video copilot presets. uh, it is the aspect ratio presets. I use the 1.85 aspect ratio. Just first we make a new layer, a new adjustment layer here to apply these settings, and double click on that and make the value 2.5 like this. That looks nice. And make another adjustment layer here. In this layer I use a magic bullet look effect. You can get it from Red Giant. That is magic bullet look. I use the looks, um, paste on the edit. I use the maybe the blockbuster and use the body shop and hit OK. And also I use some haze here to get the subject, and matte I use the diffusion. Just click and drag it in. You will see it will create a new nice glow here. If we increase the size like this and hit OK. So like this. And I also like to turn on the glow switch for those for the element 3D. So just back to the element, and there is a glow settings. Enable it and make it from the illumination to luminance, and also down the intensity, and turn up the radius like this. This is too much, so just down the radius. Okay, so you will get the idea how I how I make that scene. And also uh, maybe we decrease the strength here. And finally we have to turn on the motion blur switch here. And the motion blur, I maybe from 6 sample size make it 12, and on that. And also motion blur switch for the background plate. Just click here and also see on the motion blur switch here. So now you will see how it looks like finally. So I am not going to render it, just show you the RAM preview. so it will take times. Okay, we'll come again when the render will complete. So friends, we are back again, and I complete the RAM preview here. It took almost 10 minutes. So take a look how it looks like now. Very good. So so now you get the idea how I create that scene, and also the whole movie, because I just create the environment and rotate and take my camera around and create animate that character. So just and follow the story, so you can make your own story and your own scenery that you likes. So I hope you like it, and I will make the other tutorials and the upcoming days. So just follow my channel. Please subscribe, and if you not subscribed yet, please subscribe the channel. And I hope you will like all the stuffs that I may create by using After Effects and Element 3D. So that is that all for today's, and we will see next time. So